that point, it felt like a lot of the time the D was within the arm length. Not always, but a lot of the time. What are your thoughts? Any feedback? Any direct thoughts?
I just thought that both sides, whenever offense was happening, I think it was very hurried.
Yeah.
Whether if we were on whites were on offense, or even after the darks were getting the D, I thought all 5 points we breathed it a lot. Could have been more patient.
So I think this also happened in a couple of the games that we played last time. When we did the training, we were all chill. As soon as we got into the game, we panicked. So what I want you to do is the legs do the hurrying, they do the running hard, the brain goes slow. You take your decisions, you decide, but you run hard so that you can throw easy. And that's something we really want to work on.
I've seen very close marks when you can hear.
So that's something, as I said, this you have to find. If the person is much faster than you,
No,
so
it wasn't much. It was Bhavya.
yeah.
Burn.
If I remember correctly, you were here and I was there. But of course, I'm slow.
But he had his way around.
Yeah. So this is something you can practice, is the shuffle across to prevent them from running through. If you're struggling with that, then take an arm off. Like if you can reach there, that's okay as well. And as I said, if you're feeling like you can't handle that, then take 2 meters off also. That's allowed as well. But I want you to protect that open space, that under space.
Yeah.
So I think we did step up our covering within 1 meter, but we sometimes did that at the expense of letting them get the under. Like a few situations where we busted our gut to cover them long, and when they turned around, we let them turn around. So again, you got to remember, when they turn, step into the space that they want to occupy. So if you're running that way, and you turn around, you cut. Okay, one clarification. Yeah. So the open space is there. The field is going this way, this way. So you're upline. Cutting upline. I'm cutting upline. Sorry, what am I trying to do? Just go. Yeah. So what if I come in here? So as long as you give me enough time, that's okay. You have to be reasonable though. You can't just step in last second. It has to be basically you have to jump the line before the correct way to do it is to jump the line before I move. So before I commit my angle, so the general rule is whoever changes their direction last is at fault. So if I start running and you jump into my way, that's a foul. So sorry, yes, the correct thing is if you jumped into my way, that would be a foul by you. If you were in a position where I had to run into you, that's a foul by you. Because or not had to, I had to, I chose to run into you, that's a foul by you.
So whoever establishes the position first,
or it's the momentum first, the velocity first. So if you're both running side by side and one person runs towards the other, then it's a foul by the person who changed direction.
and also, right, I don't know if it's a written rule, but the thing is you can't stop on the way, you have to keep moving. That's what
You can slow them
stop.
down basically. So,
so if he's a momentum and you are backing away, you can't suddenly stop and stop the person.
So that's a change of velocity. So if you're changing your velocity, that's a foul. If he's stationary,
I could do this, but I can slow him down. I don't.
But you can't stop right there, right?
so you can only
You can't
slow
stop
me down.
right there while going down.
You can only slow me down if you're making a play.
stop कर सकते हैं.
You can only change your momentum if you're making a play.
Or I just stand here.
If you're already standing, that's fine. If you jump across just as I'm turning, that's allowed. But if we're both running and you start slowing down, then it has to be to make a play on the test, which is the boxing out rule, which is a specific rule where you're allowed to change your momentum and still it's a foul by the person who runs into you. Other than that, if you start slowing down, then it is a foul by you.
Which MG tried, but he forgot to stop.
So basically,
you out really well.
पूरा ऊपर से जाके मेरे आगे
that I'm not going to
जाके.
jump only. I'm
velocity being that any kind of slowing down, change direction, anything is you're changing your direction, which any change in velocity means the other person has had to react to it, which means it's a foul by you.
Another thing, I'm forgetting the rule right now. So can I, if I'm not making a play on the left, I'm a defender and I'm trying to defend a cutter, right? So can I extend my arms to stop that person? Because I'm just thinking
Even
of my
if
head
you're making a play on
ball,
the disc.
right? If his hand was in the way, if your hand has to be within your body, it was like this.
So
So this is not a foul. If it's like this is not a foul. This, while running your motion is always going to be out. It cannot be like this.
So just basically can't.
I know. I'm just thinking aloud. How can I just hit his hand and not his body?
So if you have your arms out, let's say that for some reason, like you're in a zone, you've got your arms out.
Bro, कानून क्या
You're playing the zone, you've got your arms out, you're allowed to run through the arms. It is legal to run through the arms to go and get a
Do you
pop.
think that's what happened?
The better
तो
shoot
बाद में
just
कर
need
लेना
to run
है
around it instead of running that way.
बाद में करेंगे इसको
It's
Also,
unusual for anyone to be
it's
marching like
also
this.
about a minor and not. There is a rule of minor and non-minor contact, right? So it needs to be a non-minor contact to be a foul.
Yeah.
If it's just a brush and stuff, it's
yeah
ideally something that you shouldn't be calling.
Plus,
a-
some players some players are okay with body contact. So a lot of times the spirit captains will decide before the player to player matchup. They'll be like, "Are you okay with body contact?" So then, if you say yes, then I know players who play like this also.
And it's legal.
Like Canada, US, they play like this. If we tell them beforehand, we don't want you to play like that, then they will. But if
Well,
you
it
tell
is
them,
legal,
yeah, we're
right?
fine with it, then sorry.
It's legal also. Because it's minor contact. Like
No, it's not legal really. If the other team says we're not comfortable with it, then
otherwise,
it's not. If both the teams say we're okay with it, it's fine. The teams
So
say
injury will come.
any other thoughts on that? So I felt like with the arounds, we can still keep working as we said, shuffling. The biggest thing is shuffling. So you want to start from a position where you're not letting the around, and then when they make a move, you make a move with them. So some players are already starting from sort of protecting the inside position. Don't do that. Start from an around position. Couple of things on the force. Keep your arms big. I think most people are already doing this. It is much more intimidating to throw through someone who's got his arms like this rather than someone who's doing this and trying to like do this. Even if you like at the level we're looking to play, we aren't going to get that many blocks on the mark. As a mark, your job is to dictate where the disc goes. A good deal is when it's stall 9, they throw a huck or they throw a 50-50 pass. That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to get hand blocks. I know Dhiru wants to get these, I'm sure he will, but like they'll be like skies on stall 9 rather than like these where they're thrown to you. That's what is going to happen a lot more. So remember what you're trying to do. You're trying to direct where the play goes. You're trying to prevent the disc from going to a certain space. Again, same thing downfield. You're trying to prevent him from taking his first option. You are forcing them to take an option that they don't want to take. We want to dictate what the offense is doing. Offense gets the priority. They're the first mover. They can choose where they're going. We're trying to turn that and dictate what happens. That's the goal of a strong defense.
One more thing I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel like you communicated in the last 15 minutes?
I think it decent enough.
I think it was a lot better than this morning, personally, from the sideline.
We knew what we want to do.
You remember names?
Well, you said
Huh?
is that we are also
You remember names?
One
I don't think they were
person's name I
taking names
forgot,
in that
but
offense.
I forgot whose name I forgot.
So honestly, I don't need you to do as much hand signaling. What we can
It's
do
just
though
happening organically.
is we can start using a bit more Hindi,
Yeah.
because I think, is there anyone who's not comfortable in Hindi? Please put your hand forward, hand up.
Put up, it's okay.
It's okay. 50-50 चलता है. थोड़ा.
वीके की हिंदी बहुत ही बढ़िया है. मतलब आई कैन वाउच. बहुत
Higher
बढ़िया
chances
बोलता
of Vicky confusing us
है.
rather
अति
than
सुंदर. इतना बढ़िया बोलता है ना.
I think quite a lot of them are like Guju background and all, so they can
no
manage.
way I can talk in Guju. यहाँ जा. नहीं ऊपर आओ.
A game show.
बस.
We don't mind learning.
गेम शो के आगे किसी को
We've
कुछ
seen
नहीं
your
पता तो
garba in
छोड़ दो
Japan.
भाई. Okay.
Saruche,
on the
Saruche,
field.
that's all.
On the field.
Okay, back on point.
Yeah. So-
And I think one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
About,
See, you also forgot.
I forgot.
We'll do it afterwards. We're going to go into our end zone set now,
Yes.
which is a 3-1-3 set.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now I remember. What I
We're not
wanted
going
to
into the
say
end zone
was,
set, hang on.
sorry. Yeah, what I wanted to say was, if you are on a very high stall count, is this? I mean, at least the understanding that you want to throw long
Yeah.
rather than take a very risky short pass.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that we can get attuned to, because there were quite a few turnovers in the next 3 meters. So.
So I think the main reason why those were happening is because we weren't doing that dump system. We have a system for the dump. It is very effective. It's not 100%, but it works a lot of the time. If you're on the sideline, I want you to look to center the disc before 3 max. If you're in the center, you have your two handlers, engage them, do the mirror. I don't think I saw one mirror happen. We've had three handlers the whole time. We didn't look to do the mirror at any point. So, yeah. And one other thing I'd say is that we do have a few faster counts. So maybe tonight, tomorrow, we're going to go through a clock. Time, close your eyes and do a stall count and then see how many seconds you actually stalled for. Could be 8, could be 14. We're going to find out. Sorry? It's in Europe, I think we stall at pretty much half the speed that we're currently stalling at. Like a V-stall and my standard stall that we do in our club is probably like, so he probably stalls at 8 and we probably, or like 7 and we stall at like 14. So when I once took a timer, got it to 10 and I went to a tournament in the UK and I got called fast count 3 times and I was like, okay, TK, I'll slow down, stall to 12.
Just one point if I would like to add, it is if I may. So in the offense, it's very important also, I feel, for both the teams to understand that if the disc has moved, say for example, half field, and if half of your team is behind
Still
the disc,
behind.
so then it does not make any sense for us to take those long shots, because majority of, unless it's a very clear run, so or if you're 100% sure, because otherwise you're 50%
But why is half the team behind?
because they've sent it also from there.
Continuation.
Without even looking, they're just getting and they're like.
So what I would say is, if that's on, I'm okay with you taking it. If you're confident that you're going to complete it, like 90-95%. But to that point, what I'd like to add, which I already called out VK on, sorry I'm naming and shaming. But basically, whenever we put a disc, we're going to take a big squat. We want you to run. If the disc is going long, and you don't know who's going to come down with the disc, I want you to sprint up there. I have gotten so many points on people much faster than me, because as soon as the disc goes deep, I'm sprinting. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just work, don't disc watch. Like, go work. If it's a score, great, go celebrate with your teammate. If it's a score by the other team, like at least you're helping out just in case. And if you're an offense and you've got that separation, fantastic. You've just given the other team 3-on-1 and you're just gonna score that easily. So making that effort, it's only a little bit of extra effort, but the benefits are enormous.
Is that diesel or petrol?
We'll find out
Yeah.
soon.
Electric.
It's like sprinting to the
What's the mileage? What's the range?
90 minutes.
चलो let's go, let's
Easy,
go.
man. That's like magic easy, Chinese.
दिखाओ दिखाओ, end zone play दिखाओ.
Kilometers, yes.
Cooling down.
अरे जल्दी दिखा भाई.
Okay,